this is a simple card, and the first one that I made for this class, and I don't know, I kept looking at it and I kept thinking it needs something right there. It just seems kind of bare right there. But I also wanted to look kind of like the strawberries were kind of like coming down from the corner. So if you think it's too bare there for you, you could always bring your strawberries down a little bit. But I think I'm going to keep mine up in the corner like that, just because, I don't know, even though it kind of looks like bare there, to me it still looks balanced. It's just not what I'm used to. But it does focus on the strawberries. So this paper that we used for this class, all of this paper, you should have gotten some in your when you did your annual catalog paper share. It's on page 171 of the annual catalog. That's this one here that you got back in May, I think. And it's called Pattern Party, and you can get it as a customer reward. You can't purchase it. You can only get it as a customer reward. So if you earn $18 in customer rewards, you can get this paper. And I know that, I think Maria, you have that many. So it's 48 sheets, and it's 12 by 12. 48 sheets of 12 by 12 paper. So if you want to, you basically earn $1 for every $10 you spend retail. So that would be something you might want to save up for. You don't have to spend your dollars. That's if you, in lieu of the kits, if you'd rather work towards getting, let's say you make an order and you've already earned the kit for the month, and you're like, I want to do another order, but I already have the kit. So you can you can earn host reward dollars, one for every $10 you spend, towards any product really. But you can also get these host reward, like there's some stamp sets here. This one, it would be $10, Prince and Princess. Cute little frog, page 170. You could also earn the Better Places stamp set. You could earn the Natural Places, Natural Textures stamp set. And then in the newer catalog that's coming out August 3rd, there's also some new rewards you can get there too. So yeah, I don't know if y'all knew that, but I wanted to make you aware of that. So that's where I got the paper. And these little dots there's two of the smaller ones. You get this mini, and they're matte black dots. And when I do the video, I may, and when I do the YouTube video, like when this is over, I'll post it on YouTube. I'll put the numbers here for you, so you can find them. But it's the matte black dots, and then the ribbon is 6 inches of double stitched ribbon, real red. So you can always check out the YouTube video. And at the end of when I'm done with all the Facebook Lives, there's 4 for this class, and after I posted them to YouTube, I will send you a picture of each project, a PDF that has a picture of each project, and at the bottom it will have the link to the YouTube video, which will have the measurements in it. So enough of that. Enough talking. Let's get busy. But I do want to let you know, as we're going along, for people who don't have the kit that might want to join in, let's talk about the stuff we got here in our kit. DSP is 4 by 5 1/4, and this strip of DSP that goes on the inside is 3/4 by 3 3/4, so 3/4 by 3 3/4. We've got some garden green that is 1 inch by 5.5 for our little leaves. We've got 2 real red that are 1.5 inches by 5.5. So 1.5 by 5.5, and I've run these through the Tasteful Textile folder. It kind of gives them a little bit of a strawberry. You know how strawberries have a texture to them? This almost looks like a strawberry texture. And when I cut the strips, I cut it so that the texture is going in this direction, like you would see on a strawberry, so that it really gives the strawberries a look of strawberries. Then our basic black for the inside, 4 by 5.25 for the inside, 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 for the inside, 4 1/8, 5 3/8. And then the inside is 3 3/4 by 5. And then we'll be stamping, what is this for? Why do we have that? I don't know why we have that. Why do we have this? Oh, template. Yeah, this 4 1/4 by 5.5 is for our template. I'm glad I wrote it on my notes because I would be like, what? And then we have our card base, thick, basic white, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, basically a half a sheet. So find your little groove and fold away. Now that we have everything that we meant to have for our card kit. Okay, so here's our card base, and it's a portrait. This is landscape, this is portrait, just in case y'all need to know that. Let's go ahead and do some stamping. We're going to stamp on our garden green, our real reds, and our 3 3/4 by 5 piece of whisper white. So everything else let's put aside so it doesn't get inky on us. And for your 4.5 by 5, 4 1/4 by 5.5, we need to make a template. So what you're going to do is you're just going to go inside like this on one end, and you're going to punch. Stamp punch. Now we're not going to use these tonight. You could probably save them for something if you want. I'm probably not, because I've learned that I get stuff, I save stuff, and then I never use it, and it frustrates me because I have all this stuff that's just around. Okay, so be sure you keep this up the way you did when you punched. Like you punched, so you might want to put right on that template, because you can use this again. So make sure that you wrote, punched it, and then this with the leaf on the right side, you write template, so you'll know that's the side you want to use when you do your stamping, which will make sense in a bit. So let's get out our Stamparatus, because we do need our Stamparatus for this. It's the main reason is because what we're stamping on, some of it is textured, so we're going to have to stamp on it more than one time to get a good image, and you know that the only way you can really do that is with your Stamparatus. So I'm going to grab a random color, doesn't matter, just going to keep my plate flat, and then we're going to be using Memento for all of our stamping. Memento Tuxedo Black. Okay, I'm going to check for comments because I don't want to miss any. It looks like I haven't, which is good. Let's start out by, let's just, oh, you know what we're going to need? We're also going to stamp on these from our envelope. In your envelope, you have those two black matte dots right here. We don't need those right now, but we do need these. You get two, you only need one. You do need these, they're from the Messages dies, these little labels where we're going to stamp, "That was so sweet of you." And then the inside we're going to stamp "Thank you." So get your 4x6 plastic sheet. You should keep it handy. For all my classes, I use it almost every class. I can't think of many classes, if any, that I haven't used it. So put that in the corner. Actually, you know, I've learned that if I put the plastic down first and then the stamp, "That was so sweet of you," that's the one we want right now. That's the one we're going to grab right now. That every time I put the stamp on top of the plastic, it comes up. So we know this is 4x6, so there's 4 squares down, 6 squares across. So I'm just going to find a random place there within those, kind of down towards the bottom corner. There, see? Yeah. Now I can put my plastic down. I learn as I go, because these photopolymer stamps are so sticky that they pull everything up. So we're going to stamp, and it's upside down. I couldn't tell. I thought it was right side up, but no, it's upside down. And try not to get too much ink on my hands. "That was so sweet of you." Make sure it stays in the corner. Now grab a scratch piece of paper. I already have one I keep handy. I just put a little tiny bit of Stampin' Seal right there so that I can find one of my message dies and stick it on there. Slide it under, and "That was so sweet of you." That's a cute little saying. Some of you may be getting those for thank you cards. All right, so I've also learned that if you put your bars, your magnets on the sides like that, it doesn't pull up as much when you're lifting it up, because it does. That photopolymer, even if it's inked well, so you pick it up slowly. Actually, well, so "That was so sweet of you." That's enough. That's a lot right there. Okay, so I just twist it off. Don't pull it, twist it. If you pull, it might bend. So I think we're done with this. Now let's get our wipes, and you know I'm using my Honest wipes from Target or Kroger by the Honest Company. They smell funny, but they're all natural, so that's why they smell funny. Nature smells funny. Have you ever noticed that? You can get some funky smells from nature. Okay, so the next thing we're going to get is "Thank you." I'll put this back, and I'm going to get my "Thank you." I love this font. It's so pretty. The mixed fonts. I always love mixed fonts. And again, my 4x6, I'm just going to try to find a place. I'm going to actually do it a little bit higher because I'm going to do it at the top of my 3x6 card. So bring in my plastic. Did I clean my plastic off? Where's my plastic? I need to clean off my plastic here, and you can dry it off or wipe it off on your pants. I have a pair of black stamping pants that I wear that I don't really care if it gets messy because they're my stamping pants. Okay, so thank you. Get that T there. It almost looks a little green. All right, so I'm going to put this up in the front, maybe like a ½ inch from the top and centered, and I'm hoping, because I don't want to stick my head in, I'm hoping that's gonna do. So I will hold that in place and put my magnets in place. Thank you. And maybe a little bit more, one more. That H needs a little help, I think. There. Thank you. So our inside is done. Put that over there with my other stuff. Wipe that off, and we're done with our plastic. So we can put our plastic away. Clean off our stamp, our thank you stamp. So I took my blood pressure today. It was 125/80. That's the lowest it's been since I was at the dentist. But I've actually been able to sleep in a couple of days. I didn't take it yesterday. I was busy out shopping or something. I don't even remember. But I'm hopeful that I can get my blood pressure under control by just diet and exercise and rest. And also they say to eat potassium too, bananas and orange juice. Okay, we now want our outline of our strawberry. So the outline of your strawberry, and you might want to just go ahead and grab the outline of your leaves too, so it'll be handy when we're ready for it. Grab my, that was so sweet of you, and put it over here out of the way. Now we did this template, didn't we? And you want template facing up, and you want your strawberry here. Now you'll need a piece of scratch paper or use these awesome grid paper, and you're going to put it down right about there. You want to make sure wherever you put it that you leave room to get it up there, so maybe a little bit lower than, because basically what you're going to do is you're going to put these little strawberries in there. So I think that's going to be good right there. I'm going to stamp my strawberry outline. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to use it as a and then I'm going to take my template with the template showing, and I'm going to put even spacing all around so that when I put my, it's a little bit over to the left, and you can always readjust it later if it's not perfect. All right, so now we need some strawberries. So grab your Real Red and your punch. Start over to the far right and punch. Don't worry about anything else. Just make sure you have plenty of strawberry in there for your strawberry. And you punch. Okay, there's one strawberry. Now you're going to move over just far enough, and you might have to pick it up and take it out to get another strawberry. other stuff that's flying around, it's just trash. And you can actually flip this around if it's easier and get another strawberry. So there's 3. Let me grab the other one. Now you have enough to do 6 strawberries, but you only need 4. But you might as well just go ahead and do the 6 while you're in there, because you might mess up with your stamping, or you might want them for another project and they'll already be done. Alright, so that's trash. Get your 6 strawberries. Everything else is trash. Okay. Are we ready for the fun? Okay, so here's the fun. Your template stays in place. And I don't think these strawberries are symmetrical. I don't think so. Let me see. Let me turn that around. Yeah, they look very symmetrical, but they're not. So if it doesn't fit down in there really, really good, chances are it's not in there right. Now you don't have to, but I'm just going to put a tiny bit of Stampin' Seal there, and then I'm going to do this so it's not too sticky. Get the oil from my fingers on there. So it's sticky enough, but not so sticky that it's never going to come out again when I get ready to take it out. So this is pretty much what we're going to do. And this is a good technique when you're doing a lot of something. Okay, see how you're going to need to do it again? That's why we're using our Stamparatus, because it is it's textured, so it's going to take a few times to get a full strawberry. And I am mostly down here at the bottom, I'm having trouble, so I'm going to push a little bit harder than I normally do to make sure that it goes down in there. There, I think that's good. And I get my take your pick tool or any pointy tool that you have and just lift that up. If it doesn't look like it's stamping where you want it to, like, I think I might want to move that over just a little bit. It looks like it's stamping just a little bit off. Okay, so is this the right way? Okay, it went down in there really good, so it's got to be the right way. Are y'all doing good? Are you following along? Okay, so here we go. Next step. I can see I need to push down pretty good right there on that side here. And you know, I think I might move these up just in case they're interfering with, because they do sometimes. Oh yeah, see, now that's much better. By moving those out, it is much better. I'm getting a nice solid image. So that first one is just going to be practice, because I have extras, right? So I can do that. That's backwards. And that was the right way because it fit right in there. Yeah, that makes a big difference. I guess those magnets are just a hair taller than the plastic, the stamp. So there we go. That's much better. I'm only going to do 2 more, even though I have extra one there. Oh, I'm getting pretty lucky. These are falling in just right. So we're going to do the same thing with the leaves here in a minute. Use our template. to do our leaves. And then we're going to put our card together. All right. One more strawberry because we need 4. This one is a dud. I mean, it's not really a dud, but I like it better with the solid there. It's really kind of tricky to make sure that that is where it needs to be, because it almost looks symmetrical, but it's not. So don't let it fool you. All right. We have our 4 strawberries. If you want to do the other one, go right ahead. But me, I'm going to stop while I'm ahead. All right, so that's our strawberry. Now we're going to do the outline of our leaves. We use our template again, and I think I'm going to turn it this way. Oh, let me see. I guess it doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll turn it that way. All right. With our leaves, we're going to do the same thing. We need 4 tops. We're going to get our punch. Now the tricky part is you want to feed it in, like there's your strawberry, your leaf, your top, and your flower. You're going to feed it in this way, because if you feed it in any other way, like if I do it that way, it's going to chop up all of this. I don't want it to chop up all of that. I need that. So I'm going to turn it this way, and you might have to like angle it so that you get a full thing and pops right out at me. I'm going to move it down, make sure it's all covered with cardstock. Pop out again. It's like popcorn, popping everywhere. 2 more. Okay, that's 3. And then 4. And I guess you might have enough to do 2 more if you wanted to use those other 2 strawberries. I think you could do 2 more. But like I said, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. And all right, so now that's how I want the stem facing up. That's how I want my template. So I'm going to move my template just and then put my stamp down there. Move my strawberry stamp. Pick that up. Stamp with memento. And that's going to show me where that's going to stamp. Now, it's important that my template is it is too far. So you know what, I'm going to have to do this. It's embarrassing, but I'm going to have to cut this off a little bit and write template again. But maybe you will learn from my mistakes. But I can use this again and again, so it doesn't matter. Makes it easier to use. All right, so here's my template, and here's my little leaf thingy, strawberry top, and I'll make sure that stem's in the center. I'm going to put my, now what we're going to do, same thing we did with our strawberries. We're going to put these in, and you can kind of tell that there's one leaf here at the bottom kind of curves in. That is to your right. So the one that kind of curves in is on the right side. Now I didn't when I made this, I don't think I used any glue underneath there. I don't think I used any of the Stampin' Seal. We'll see if it stays down or if it comes up. It stays down. Okay, so there's one. And then find our little leg that curls in. It looks like a little leg. And put that in there. There's two. Find our little curvy leg. Goes on the right. There's three. Okay. Oops, it kind of stood up a little bit. There's four. And last one is this one. All right, we are done with our stamping, ladies. Yay! All right, let me clean up after myself here. Get my stamps. I don't want to put it away with my stamp there because I'll lose it. Yeah, we're done with our stamping. We can put all our inks and Stamparatus away. Stamp pads. Bring in our card. Make sure you don't have any ink on your hands. I don't want anybody crying later. Especially me. I don't want to be crying later. All right, so it looks like this is going to be relatively easy. We have our larger piece of black, 5 1/8 by 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So which one is larger? This one. So the larger one is going to go on the front, and then we got our DSP that's going to go on right here on top. So grab the Stampin' Seal. I put one strip on both sides, or you can use any kind of adhesive or glue that you want. And now we do have a ribbon, so let's not get too anxious. Too antsy-pantsy like I do sometimes, and I put it on the front of the card before I put the ribbon on. So it looks like the ribbon is 1.5 inches from the bottom. So I'm gonna designate this is my bottom. Grab a pencil, mark 1.5 inches from that bottom, and 1.5 from this bottom. So that tells me that my bottom of my ribbon is going to be just above that line, like right on top of it. I'm going to put some adhesive above that line that's going to hold my ribbon in place. Drop it so that you can find the curve. That's the curve, so you know which one is the front, the prettier side. Find that. Make sure they're even on both ends. Push it in. Now it's ready to go on the front with no tears. I'm just going to put some more. Put a little bit more here than I would normally because of the ribbon. And on the front. Oops, 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 get over there. All right. Now I do like to do this, but you don't have to. I'm going to grab my glue dots, and I'm just going to take your pick tool or pointy tool and kind of just lift that off of there, and wherever I think that I need a little extra, I know that it has a little lump there, but I know that this is going to go over the front of it, so it's not going to show. Let's see, what did I use to put that on with? Oh yeah, interesting. All right, so you have some mini dimensionals right here. Get you some mini dimensionals. I've already harvested a lot of these, so On the edges of your mini dimensionals, you'll see a little bit of excess, and that excess is what we're going to use. We need just about not even 1/8 of an inch. Okay. So we have a strip, and it's going to go there. It doesn't have to go quite edge to edge. So I can get by using both of these. So on the back, I don't want my sticky on the ribbon because it will be a little too bulky. So I'm going to take these strips and put it close to the edge, but not where it can be seen from the front. Okay. Going to remove these. This one could have been a little bit longer, but I don't think it will matter. And it's not going to be in the center. It's going to be more over to the left, about that much. Most importantly, that it's level. Okay. Are we following along? Okay. Well, Gwen, that's okay. I hope it's more fun to watch a live than it is to just watch a dry video, because my videos tend to be dry. I'm sorry, but even I think they are sometimes really kind of dry. And I even still worry about my lives, but anyhow, I think we have more fun with the lives. All right, so this is going to go on the inside. This is always the fun part of card making, when you're putting it together. It's like putting a puzzle together. This is going to go on the back here, side back. And this is going to go, I tried to do something a little fancier this time, and so I used the extra that we had rather than just pitching it. I decided to do this. Make sure it's level. Nice. Now, with the strawberries, I wanted them to have a little, I didn't want them flat on the card, but then I didn't want them sticking up. So what I did is, let me get my strawberries and my tops. What I did, I'll start down here. I put a mini dimensional at the top and the back, like that. And then I put a glue dot down at the bottom. And what that does is it makes it kind of like higher at the top and lower at the bottom, which kind of gives it an interesting look. And I probably should have put my top on first. I put my tops on with the glue dot right in the center. Isn't that cute? So sweet. All right, so now these we probably want to go ahead and put them in order. So let's go ahead and put our tops on these with some glue dots. There's the top. It's a little low, but hey, I could probably fix it later. I don't want any of the top of my strawberry showing. There's another one. One more. Oops. Come back here. Do your job. Okay. Now we can kind of line them up. It's kind of like this one's pointing to this angle. This one's pointing to that angle. And then this one's kind of pointing somewhat down. Excuse me. But it doesn't really matter. You put them wherever you want them. If you figure out what looks good to you, and you do that. You do your thing. That's how I'm going to do them. So I'm going to start with this one. Leave those in place as much as possible. And put that there. And this here. Just like I did with the other one. Dimensional at the top, glued up at the bottom, and I'm just going to kind of slide that there. Now I'm going to move this one, dimensional in the back at the top, glue dot at the bottom, okay, and then one last one, dimensional at the top. Well, that one's not quite in the center, but I don't think it'll matter. Glue dot at the bottom. And this one's going to kind of be like right. Do I want it there? How do I want that? A little bit lower, I think. Yeah, that's close enough. See, it doesn't look exactly the same, but it's still, it does the job. Lastly, we are going to find our envelope, and inside is those two small matte black dots. And we're going to put one kind of right here above the T, the end of the T, and one over here above to the right of the S. And they need to be level, the same distance from the top. Okay, guess what, guys? That's our first project. I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun. I enjoyed making these cards, and then I have an extra for later. Hopefully you do too. All right, I'm gonna let you learn a lot from my videos. Oh, thank you, Quinn. You're so sweet. I really appreciate you ladies. All right, so this was the one I was kind of like, not sure, but I just kept it because I tend to overthink, and that's what causes me stress. So I need to stop overthinking and just put something out there and hope that you like it. All right, well, I love you guys. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you this coming Tuesday at 7 for project number 2. All right, love you. Bye.